I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, and I got a degree in chemical engineering. I got a really interesting job offer while I was in engineering school to relocate to Los Angeles. And there I went to graduate school, and in graduate school I met a guy that had a really good business idea, and we started a company together.
I first met Jeff in 1997 when he bought a small tech company here in Atlanta that I worked for. We were both mechanical engineers working in the electric power industry, so we had a lot in common. My first impressions of Jeff were that he was smart, personable, he had success, and I could probably learn a thing or two from him. But the thing that really struck me beyond that was that he cared for people.
I think Jeff's shown people that business is much more than simply being about numbers and results. It's really based on their commitment to their own success, and it's based on him believing in them. And I think he's shown people throughout his career how to unlock the best in themselves.
I have to say, one of the things that's been really fun working for Jeff is his desire and vision to swing for the fence and building ICE from a startup, 8-person startup, to a $50 billion company.
You know, as my company started to grow, one day I got a call from a guy who was with the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, and he said he wanted to come visit me. And it was an interesting sales pitch because he said to me, "You're at a point in your career where you've got to give back. And in the South, and particularly in Atlanta, we have a thing called the Atlanta Way. And the Atlanta Way is, at some point here, you've got to get involved." And so I slowly got involved, and then I found what everybody finds when they start to give back, which is it's much more rewarding to give your money away than it is to earn it, and your time and your energy dedicated to something that can help others as opposed to helping yourself.
There's a lot of things that the city of Atlanta, will remember about what Jeff did from a business standpoint. But I think from a philanthropic standpoint, he and Kelly have done an amazing job of raising money to impact people in this community. And I think those are things that'll last long after his business career is over.
Jeff has made a tremendous mark on Atlanta and will continue to do so because he's such an inspiration and a role model to so many people.
Jeff, is being inducted into the JA Business Hall of Fame because, number one, his success. I think that speaks for itself, but his, ability to kind of see it through and take it to a level that is really unprecedented, I think is special. He's just such a great friend, and always there when you need him, and he's been a great mentor to me throughout my life.
In life, that's how he's managed to solve so many problems, whether it's in the community or at work or supporting our families. He embraces challenges and always helps others rise to the occasion as well. We're so proud to call Atlanta home, and I know he takes a lot of pride in contributing to the community, continuing to build ICE and other institutions and companies that he's involved in. And so I think really his legacy is someone who came in, rolled up his sleeves, said, "Here's a great challenge to take on. If not me, then who?" And I think that's really Jeff's contribution to Atlanta and will continue to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jeffrey Sprecher into the JA Business Hall of Fame Laureate Society.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I had a great pleasure and honor to meet Shruti, and she interviewed me and she wrote that introduction. And we did find that one of the things that we had in common is neither of us knew what the heck we were going to do with our lives. And but one thing I can tell you is that when I was in the 9th grade, I could have never, ever interviewed an executive the way you interviewed me. So about 6 months ago, John and Allison came to me and said, "We'd like to bestow this honor on you tonight, and we'd like to make you a laureate, and would you be willing to
attend and appear and accept the award, and I was like, wow, of course I'm flattered. And they said, and oh, by the way, we want to pair you with Tyler Perry. And would you be okay with that? And in my mind, I said, yes. Because I could just come up here and say a few words and thank some people and sit down, and Tyler Perry would come up, and everybody wants to hear from Tyler Perry and know Tyler Perry, and I would just be able to slip away. And what I didn't ever think about was the fact that they might induct him first. So I give you my congratulations, and I will tell you that I am not going to be an event producer because I am completely backwards, so you have nothing to worry about from me. I'm here because I'm an executive that is in a company that is a great company. We a bunch of us, including Chuck, who spoke on my behalf, started a company with nothing that today is a Fortune 500 company. And I can tell you there's really one way to do that. And this is if you want to start a Fortune 500 company, this is the way to do it. You surround yourself with really great people, because great companies are simply collections of great people. And I have the honor of being here and accepting this on behalf of a collection of people, and there's about 4 tables of them sitting over here drinking wine and champagne, that came out to honor me and each other. And I just want to say to all of you that built this company, thank you so much, and I'm proud to stand in front of you. And I would be remiss if I didn't identify one of those people, which is Scott Hill and his wife Hillary, who we recruited from Texas to become, Scott became our chief financial officer. And when the Hills got to Atlanta, they decided they wanted to start giving back and get involved in various causes. And they were particularly interested in education. And so I know they touched a number of organizations and eventually found JA and really loved what was going on here. And so Scott and Hillary got deeply involved and have been personal givers, but they brought JA into our company and became ambassadors. And when they did that, because we run a collective type management, everybody got enthused, and so we got the entire company behind the organization and have been and have lovingly given to the organization for many years, and will continue to do so. And I feel a little embarrassed that Scott's sitting over here and I'm up here because he's done so much for the organization. So anyway, Scott and Hillary, thank you for this. And I want to say that as a public company chief executive, there's a lot of opportunity to stand behind a podium and have a microphone in front of you. And God knows I've had my share of talking to people. But this, to me, is probably the pinnacle of every acknowledgement that I've ever received. And the reason I say that is that I think it is my swan song. I happen to be married to one of the most successful business people in Georgia. And as you may know, on January 1st, the governor asked her to step in and fill the empty U.S. Senate seat that was vacated by beloved Senator Johnny Isakson. And she was willing. Let's hear it for Johnny Isakson. And on that day, I became her +1. And she has been my +1, notwithstanding her personal success, for many, many years. And it's not easy to be a +1. And so I'm about to learn that. And there's a part of me that says this is such a beautiful evening because it's just such a nice way for me to go out as being the front person. And I'm anxious for many years now to stand behind my wife as she gives back to the community. So anyway, thank you to everybody that was involved in the Laureate program. Thank you for all those that volunteer and do work at JA. And thank you for all of you that give your time and money here tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.